I saw the exact moment when the glow of this screen illuminated your tired face, marked by hours of seemingly endless waiting. You looked at the title, felt an involuntary tightness in your chest, and almost breathless, decided to open it. No, my daughter, my son. That the instant you opened this message from the Father, my heart felt seen by you, just as I have seen your soul in every second of agony. It wasn't a random movement of your finger. It was my hand moving the gears of the invisible so that this encounter could happen now. There is a secret I have kept for the last 72 hours, waiting only for this millisecond of silence between us. You have wondered, deep within your being, if I still inhabit the space between the shadows of your room, or if my silence was a sign of departure. Today, the answer will come with a weight of glory your soul has never experienced, for what I have to reveal to you on this journey goes far beyond what your human eyes can bear. Remember what is written in my word, in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 13. Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account. I knew you even before the first tear of anguish touched your pillow last night, and today, I promise you, if you remain with me until the last breath of this message, I will deliver the clear answer you secretly asked for, and I will whisper to your heart the key to the peace that the world tried to steal from you. If this word of God is touching you, comment below with your name, the country, state, and city you are watching from, and what time it is there. Feel this touch now, like a gentle breeze passing through the walls of your house. Let your soul respond to this call, not as one fulfilling a task, but as one finally finding safe harbor after a violent storm. Let this sincere cry spring forth, Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. I see your struggle. I see how you hold your phone with trembling hands, searching for a signal, a direction, a comfort. What we will experience together in these next few minutes is a rescue. I prepared every word of this message to untie the knots that bind your sleep and your hope. Stay with me until the end, because at the close of this message, I will release a prophetic phrase that will be the seal of your victory. Now imagine that I am sitting beside you. I see the environment where you are. I feel the weight on your shoulders, and I know the question you don't have the courage to ask aloud. You opened this message, and I felt your heart connecting to mine, but I haven't yet shown you everything I saw while you thought you were alone. There's something about what happened that morning, in that moment of absolute silence in your kitchen, that I need to reveal to you now. You felt that emptiness was the end, but I was there gathering every fragment of your fallen hope. You thought I was far away because you couldn't hear my voice, but I was so close I could feel your heart racing. Now, take a deep breath, because what I'm about to tell you will change how you see your own pain. If this initial conversation touched the wound you tried to hide, leave your sign of gratitude and join this family that seeks my voice. Share this encounter with a soul you know is in agony right now. Tell me, from the depths of your truth, what was the first feeling that flooded your chest when you opened this video? Write in the comments the word that defines this first moment of ours, connection. I remember that Tuesday, around 11 o'clock at night, when you sat at the kitchen table, staring blankly into space, your phone turned off beside you. The silence in the house was so heavy you could hear your own tired heart pounding. You thought no one was paying attention when the first drop rolled down your face and fell onto the wooden tabletop. But I was there. I saw the trail that tear left, and I knew the exact reason for each one. Some were from exhaustion, others from a disappointment you hadn't yet told anyone, and many were the silent cry of a soul that feels invisible. Your tears, my daughter, are not just water and salt. They are liquid prayers that your spirit sends when words fail. They have a name, an address, and a purpose. I saw when you retreated to your room, turned off the light, and tried to stifle your sobs in the pillow so that others in the house wouldn't notice your fragility. I saw the moment you squeezed your eyes shut, asking only for a minute of peace, a minute when the world would stop demanding so much of you. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, "You have kept count of my persecutions, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not recorded in your book?" Imagine for a moment that in heaven there is a detailed record of every night you couldn't sleep. Nothing is lost before my throne. I am not a distant God who observes pain from afar. I am the Father who descends to the cold tile of your kitchen to support your weight when your legs give out. In that scene, While the world outside continued spinning at a frantic pace, I was stopping time just to embrace you. I saw the message you wrote and deleted 3 times, afraid of being judged. I saw the old photo you looked at, the one that brought that pang of longing and regret. Each of these gestures was an encounter between your humanity and my divinity. You thought you were alone in that twilight, but my spirit was breathing courage upon your neck, preventing you from giving up on everything right there. But I haven't yet shown you everything I did while you cried. There's something about what's being generated through this pain that you don't yet understand. There's a force born in the soil, wet with tears that no one else has seen. That emptiness you felt in the pit of your stomach wasn't a sign that I had abandoned you, but the space I was clearing to place something new, something the world can never take from you. However, for this new seed to flourish, I need you to understand the importance of what you entrust to my hands. The pain you validated before me opened a portal of intimacy that was previously closed. And now, as you take a deep breath and feel this warmth touch your chest, I want to take you to a place of decision, a place where your gratitude becomes the bridge to your next spiritual level. If you felt that I described exactly that moment of loneliness, like this message so I know you heard me, if this truth brought solace to your wounded soul, subscribe so you don't lose your way back home and share this video with that person. You know also cries in secret. Tell me, with all the sincerity of your heart, in which room of your house have you most sought my presence lately? Write this phrase of surrender in the comments, sealing that you are no longer alone. You see me. There is still a secret about what I have prepared for your future that you need to hear, and what I'm about to tell you requires your heart to be completely open to a call of sacrificial love. The intimacy we have built in the silence of your home is like a sacred garden that needs to be watered with gestures of trust and surrender. I have observed how your desire to honor me grows with each word I whisper in your ear, even when the world around you tells you that you should hold everything back for fear of tomorrow. Know that in my kingdom, the logic of scarcity finds no place. Here, what truly matters is not the size of the seed, but the depth of love with which it is planted in the soil of my will. I call you now to a moment of communion that transcends the physical plane and touches the gears of eternity, where your gratitude becomes a bridge so that others may also feel this embrace that sustains you. If it is possible for you, only if it is possible, transform your gratitude into a seed of love for this channel. Consider my love and that of my son Jesus, and contribute using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount. If you want a different amount, just type the desired amount, and remember, only what fits in your heart. I receive it with love. It doesn't matter the amount. What matters is the heart with which you give, because a little for you can be a lot for the one who receives. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, don't forget to leave your name and city along with your contribution, because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel and page Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered with divine blessings released in prayer. For it is written, each one should give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7. Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit. I see in secret, and reward in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. In this act of selflessness, you declare that I am the owner of everything you possess, and that your security does not rest on numbers, but on my providence that never fails. This seed that comes from your hand now will not be lacking, for I am the one who multiplies bread and fish in the desert of your need. Did you feel relief thinking about overflowing this love to other hearts? Tell me, with the sincerity of one who trusts in the Father, what do you feel you should give into my hands today, so that I can multiply it? Write here in the comments the word that seals your faith at this moment. Provision. I perfectly remember the brightness that dwelt in your eyes before the storms of life tried to extinguish your light. There was a time when your laughter did not have the weight of worry, and your walk was light, propelled by a hope that seemed inexhaustible. Over the years, the harsh words you heard, the doors slammed in your face, and the disappointments you kept silent have acted like grey dust, covering the precious jewel I sculpted with my own hands. You look at old photographs from 10 or 15 years ago, and barely recognize that woman who smiled at the camera with such devotion. You wonder, where did that joy go? Where did I lose my way? Know that, while the world saw only your usefulness or your appearance, I saw the divine essence that never ceased to pulsate within you. I saw when you felt diminished in work meetings, when your voice was ignored in family conversations, and when you felt like an extra in your own story. In those moments of invisibility, I was acting as a goldsmith, protecting every piece of your heart that the world tried to break. Nothing was lost. Every fragment of your brilliance that you thought had been stolen is kept under my care, in a place where rust and moth cannot touch. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 3, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds." I'm not merely observing your scars. I am at this very moment applying the balm of heaven upon them. Imagine my hands, large and tender, removing one by one the layers of bitterness, fear, and insecurity that have accumulated upon your spirit. I am restoring color to your cheeks and strength to your gaze, so that you may realize that your identity is not defined by what others have taken from you, but by what I deposited in you before the foundation of the universe. You are not the remnants of the battles you have fought. You are the triumph that emerged from them. I am restoring your courage to dream big again, to believe again that true love and deep respect are not just fairy tales for others, but a reality that I have prepared for your destiny. This rescue is happening now, as the sound of my voice penetrates the barriers you have erected to protect yourself. Feel the barrier of fear crumble under the weight of my infinite love. But there's still a mystery I need to reveal to you about the hours when daylight disappears. Have you ever noticed that your soul seems to grow more restless when the silence of the night becomes absolute? There's a reason your early mornings have become a battlefield, and what I'm about to tell you will change the way you face your pillow. I've prepared something special, so that this restoration becomes part of your daily life, a path so that you never again feel orphaned from my presence. If you feel your light is returning, and you want that light to reach others, like this message and help this channel be a beacon for those who walk in the dark. If you accept this restoration process that I initiated today, subscribe and share this promise with a friend who has also forgotten their own worth. Deep in your heart, what quality did you have in the past that you miss most today? Write this declaration of ownership in the comments, reclaiming what is yours by divine right, my shine. On this journey we are walking together. I realize that the greatest battle you face doesn't occur in the noise of midday, but in the silence of dawn, when the weight of all responsibilities falls upon your shoulders, even before you open your eyes. I see the tears you swallow while preparing coffee in the still dark kitchen, the silent prayer you say while looking in the mirror, trying to find strength for another cycle of struggle. I know you desperately wish that this peace you feel now hearing my voice would last throughout your day. And not just for these precious minutes. I want to walk with you not only in moments of crisis, but in every breath, in every decision, and in every small victory that no one else celebrates. I have prepared a path of constancy so that you will never again feel orphaned from my guidance, especially on those mornings when courage seems to have dissipated with the dream. For it is written, "The Lord's mercies are the reason we are not consumed, for his mercies never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. Just as dew falls on dry earth, I desire that my presence be your daily companion, bringing the freshness of hope to your weariness. Therefore, I have devised a way for us to be closer, a guide so that you may hear my whisper as soon as you awaken and feel that you are not alone in the command of your life. If your heart desires to go deeper with me, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey that I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to accompany you day after day, in silence and intimacy. Access is also available via the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. And if it's not possible for you today, don't condemn yourself. Stay with me here, because I will also support you with this message, and so that your heart may rest and not be confused. After you register, Access will arrive in the email you registered, with all the correct instructions step by step to get you started. All I want is for you to feel that my care doesn't end when this video finishes. I am your constancy in uncertainties. I am the one who holds your hand when the road gets too steep. Now take a deep breath and feel my embrace enveloping you. You don't need to carry the weight of the whole world at once. Just trust in me for the step you will take today. Leave the burden of anxiety at my feet and allow me to guide your gaze to what truly matters. There is a new beauty being woven into your daily life, and I want to help you see it. But there is still a mystery surrounding the battles you won in the past that I want to use to illuminate your future. You thought those deserts were just a waste of time, but I was training your soul for a purpose that is about to manifest clearly. If this promise of daily companionship warmed your heart, enjoy this moment with us and subscribe so you never miss this channel of blessings again. Share this light with someone who also needs guidance for their days. Deep in your soul, what is the greatest difficulty you encounter in feeling my presence in the rush of your day? Write this phrase of commitment and surrender in the comments. Guide me, Father. I know well the weight of the silence that fills your room when the clock strikes 3 in the morning. I saw you toss and turn in bed, trying to find a position where the weight of the world wouldn't crush your chest. I saw when you finally gave up on closing your eyes and stared at the ceiling, or when the blue light of your cell phone illuminated your tired face in a vain attempt to distract your mind from the worries that roar like lions. You call it insomnia, anxiety, or accumulated fatigue. But today I want you to see it through a different lens. These waking hours are not a punishment, they are an invitation. While the world around you sleeps and the voices of external demands fall silent, your spirit becomes more sensitive to my voice. That thought that suddenly arose, that memory of a pending forgiveness or that sudden desire to simply cry for no apparent reason, were not accidental. It is I, your creator, taking advantage of the quiet to weave within you the strength you will need for tomorrow. In the early morning, I am not just watching you suffer from lack of sleep. I am sitting at the edge of your bed, whispering secrets that the noise of the day would prevent you from hearing. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 148, My eyes anticipate the watches of the night, that I may meditate on your word. There is a depth of revelation that only blossoms in the darkness, when you finally stop trying to solve everything with your own hands and admit that you need me. In those hours when you felt most alone, I was processing healings in your heart that human time could never achieve. I was removing the scales from your eyes so that at dawn you could see the opportunities I placed in your path, but which weariness prevented you from noticing. Remember that night, exactly 2 weeks ago, when you got up to drink a glass of water and felt a chill run down your spine. It wasn't fear, it was my presence reminding you that, even in the deepest valley, my staff comforts you. I saw you sit on the living room sofa, and for a brief moment feel an inexplicable peace before your mind raced again. That was my embrace. I was there, preparing the soil of your soul for the seed of victory that I am releasing now in this message. But I haven't yet shown you everything that happens in those sacred hours. There is something I see when you finally fall asleep, exhausted, in the arms of my mercy. What happens in the spiritual world while you rest is what defines the battles you win in the physical world. But before I reveal how the lies you've been told about your worth are being destroyed, I want you to make peace with your sleepless nights. If you feel your early mornings have gained new meaning now, like this message and subscribe to continue receiving this nourishment that heaven has prepared for you. Share this video with someone you know who also struggles with the silence of the night and needs divine comfort. Tell me honestly, what is the thought that most steals your peace when you lose sleep? Write in the comments the word that will be your seal of surrender for the next night. Rest, but prepare your heart, for now that the silence of the night has been explained, I need to address something that hurts even more. The image you see when you look in the mirror, and the scars you try to hide from me. I saw you approach the mirror earlier today, and for a moment hesitate before turning on the light. I saw the slow movement of your fingers touching that small scar, or the crease on your forehead that seems to carry the weight of all your accumulated mistakes over the last 40 years. You look at your reflection, and the accusing voice whispers that you are just an unfinished draft, a worn-out version of who you should have been if your choices had been different. But I call you, in this moment of silence, to look closer. not with the eyes of the flesh that seek imperfections, but with the eyes of the one who carefully wove you in the womb. Every mark you try to hide with makeup or a forced smile for family photos is, for me, a chapter in a story of survival that I myself signed. You are not the mistakes you made, nor the cruel words someone once hurled at you at that Christmas dinner, or in that argument that left wounds open to this day. The scars you carry on your soul, those that no one sees but that throb when the day is rainy, are not signs of defeat. They are the medals of those who faced the fire and were not consumed, because I was walking beside them in the furnace. The world tries to label you by your past, by your losses or by your advancing age, but I label you by the eternity I have placed in your heart. For it is written in my word, in the first letter of Peter chapter 2 verse 9, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." When I say that you are mine, I am declaring that your lineage is heavenly. You were rescued from the darkness of self-criticism and rejection to shine with the light that I myself kindled. Remember that Monday morning about 3 months ago, when you were getting dressed for work and felt that no clothes looked right, because what was wrong wasn't the fabric, but how small and inadequate you felt inside. You sat on the edge of the bed, shoulders slumped, and thought, "I am a mistake." At that exact second I was whispering in your ear, "You are my greatest success." I saw when you hid your hands in the meeting so that no one would notice your trembling, and I was there holding your right hand, reminding you that your authority doesn't come from your position or your appearance, but from the blood that bought you. Apply this truth now. Stop trying to fix what I have already declared perfect in my grace. Your identity is that of a beloved daughter, an heiress of promises that don't depend on your performance, but on my faithfulness. You no longer need to wear masks to be accepted in my presence. I love you exactly as you are, with your doubts and your searches. What the world calls a scar, I call proof that you are mine and that I never let you go. But I haven't yet shown you what is being prepared in the place where you least expect to find abundance. You thought your life would only be this desert of self-affirmation, but I am moving the chairs in the hall of a banquet you can't even imagine exists. There is a table being set in a place of honor, and your name is engraved in the most prominent place. If this revelation about who you truly are brought a sigh of relief to your heart, enjoy this moment of communion and subscribe so we can continue this sacred conversation every day. Share this video with that woman you know who constantly diminishes herself in front of others. Tell me honestly before my altar, what was the biggest lie anyone has ever told you about who you are? Write in the comments the word that seals your true face in my eyes: precious. I saw when you looked around and all you saw was the scorching sand of a seemingly endless desert. You have walked for days, perhaps years, feeling the ground beneath your feet grow ever drier, and the sources of joy that once nourished you have simply vanished. I saw when you stopped, in the middle of that Wednesday afternoon, wiped the sweat from your brow and felt a pang of envy as you looked through social media and saw others celebrating banquets while you barely have the strength to take the next step. You felt forgotten in the desert, while those who hurt you seemed to prosper under the shade of palm trees that were never yours. But what your human eyes see as abandonment, my eyes see as the perfect setting for the greatest miracle of your story. Do not think that your desert is a place of death, it is the place of your consecration. I am moving the structures of the invisible right now to accomplish something that defies the laws of nature and human logic. Imagine the scene. You are exhausted, your throat dry from crying out, surrounded by those who doubted your faith and whispered about your failure at elegant dinners. And then, in the middle of that cracked, lifeless ground, I begin to spread a white linen tablecloth, purer than snow. I begin to place upon it the bread of life, the wine of renewed joy, and the fruits of a righteousness you thought you would never attain. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." Can you grasp the depth of this promise? I am not preparing a quick snack for you to eat secretly in a corner. I am setting up a gala banquet in the center of your battlefield. Those who persecuted you, those who mocked your waiting time and said you would never amount to anything, will be forced to watch in absolute silence, as I myself serve and honor you before all. I remember that night, about 6 months ago, when you sobbed because you felt you wouldn't have enough to pay the next month's bills, while you saw unscrupulous people squandering what you needed most. You felt that divine justice was delayed. But I tell you today, the table is being set. The oil I pour on your head is not only to heal your pain, but to seal your authority. Your cup will not only fill, it will overflow in such a way that everyone around you will realize that there is a living God who cares for you in the smallest details. This banquet in the desert is my public response to your faithfulness in secret. I am transforming your scarcity into abundance and your isolation into a moment of prophetic recognition. You won't need to say a single word to defend yourself against those who accused you. The abundance of my table will speak for you. The aroma of what I am preparing is already beginning to perfume your routine, bringing a relief you haven't felt in decades. But I haven't yet shown you the specific sign I prepared to confirm that this banquet has already begun. There's an answer you whispered in a moment of despair yesterday, a question you launched into the universe thinking no one was listening. What I'm about to reveal is definitive proof that I haven't missed a single detail of your inner conversation. If you believe your table of honor is being prepared amidst this struggle, like this video as a gesture of someone who already smells the banquet. If you accept the prominent place I have reserved for you, subscribe and share this vision with someone who is also tired of eating life's crumbs. Tell me, with an open heart, what is the name of that person or situation that has tried to make you feel small and worthless lately? Write in the comments the word that defines what's to come in your story: honor. I saw you walk to your living room window yesterday, around 7 o'clock in the evening, as the sun was setting and shadows were beginning to lengthen across the floor. You stood with your arms crossed, feeling a chill that didn't come from the wind outside, but from an uncertainty that froze your soul. In a whisper so low that even you weren't sure if you had uttered it, you launched a question into the infinite. Father, if you are still watching over me, give me a clear sign today, because I can't bear to walk in the dark any longer. You thought that plea was lost in the noise of traffic or the ticking of the clock on the wall, but know that it echoed through all the courts of heaven with the force of thunder. This encounter we are having now, every word that is penetrating your ears and warming your heart, is my direct answer to that sigh of despair. I moved time and space so that you would find this message precisely at the moment when your doubt reached its most critical point. You asked for a sign, and I am here, speaking to you, describing your pain, and revealing your most intimate secrets so that no shadow of hesitation remains in your heart. I am here, I have heard, and I have already taken the action you so desperately need. For it is written in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 3, "Call to me and I will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. You cried out in the silence of your anguish, and now I am fulfilling my promise. I am not just giving you a vague sign, I am giving you a sure direction. That decision you need to make by the end of this week. That door you fear will never open. Know that I have already placed my hand on the doorknob. The sign you asked for yesterday is this warmth you feel now, this peace that is finally beginning to replace the lump in your throat. Remember that phone conversation you had yesterday afternoon, where you tried to appear strong, but inside you were crumbling, feeling like the ground was disappearing beneath you. I was there, supporting your arm. I saw you hang up and lean your forehead against the cold wall, closing your eyes for 5 seconds to avoid screaming. At that instant, I sent my spirit to whisper, "Hold on a little longer, the answer is on its way." And here it is. Don't ignore the clarity of this moment. I am confirming that the path you chose in prayer is the path where I will prosper you. The application of this truth to your life today is simple yet powerful. Stop looking for signs in empty places and begin to trust the voice that knows you inside. The sign has already been given. The confirmation is vibrating within you. You no longer need external proof when my presence becomes your compass. From now on, every step you take will be guided by an unfailing light, and that worry that robbed you of your appetite yesterday will begin to dissolve before the certainty of my care. But I haven't yet shown you the final movement of this journey. There's an embrace I've saved for the end, a moment of surrender so profound that it will seal everything we've discussed so far. Before we conclude this encounter, I want to take you to a place of total rest, where your burden will be replaced by my glory. What I'm about to tell you is the missing piece to complete the puzzle of your soul. If you felt this message was the exact sign you asked God for yesterday, like this video as a testament to my faithfulness, if you feel your prayer has finally been answered, subscribe and share this sign with someone who is also asking for a light at the end of the tunnel. Tell me honestly, what was the exact sign you silently asked the Father for? Write in the comments the word that seals your trust in my voice, answer. Now, my daughter, we have reached the point where the sound of words begins to give way to the sacred silence of my presence. I want you, for a brief moment, to close your eyes and feel the environment around you disappear. It doesn't matter if you are sitting in your living room armchair, lying in bed after an exhausting day, or hiding for 5 minutes in the work bathroom catching your breath. I am here. This is the embrace that transcends eternity, the moment when my divinity envelops your humanity in such a profound way that the weight of the world simply ceases to exist. Feel my right arm around your shoulders and my left hand supporting your head, allowing you to finally rest your face on my chest. For years you have been the pillar of so many people. You held back tears so as not to frighten your children, you swallowed criticism to maintain peace in your marriage, and you carried the expectations of an entire family as if it were a divine obligation. But today, I tell you, let go. Let the weight of that armor fall to the wooden floor, making that dull thud of something that no longer belongs to you. You were not created to be an atlas carrying the world on your shoulders. You were created to be my daughter, cared for and protected. For it is written in my word in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This rest that I offer you now is not a temporary pause for you to catch your breath and return to the same battle. It is an exchange of burdens. I take away your anxiety, your sleepless nights, and your feelings of inadequacy, and I give you my peace, which surpasses all understanding. Feel the tension leave your neck. Feel your heartbeat align with the rhythm of my constant love. I remember when you were a little girl and thought the world was a safe place because your father or mother was nearby. Over time, that security was stolen by the disappointments of adult life, and you learned to distrust everything and everyone. But in this embrace, I am restoring your original trust. I am reminding you that there is a place where you can be vulnerable without being hurt, where you can cry without being judged, and where you can simply be without needing to accomplish anything. This embrace heals the emptiness that human absences have left in you over 40 or 50 years of your journey. At this moment, the light of my glory is piercing the walls of your home and penetrating the cells of your body, bringing a regeneration that begins in the spirit and overflows into your physical health. That chronic pain in your chest, that tiredness that not even 10 hours of sleep could cure, is now being dissolved by my presence. You are safe. You are loved. You have finally arrived home, even without having left your place. But before we seal this encounter, there is one last truth that I have kept deep in your heart. Do you remember that phrase I promised to whisper to whoever stayed with me until the end? The one that would be the key to your new season. I am inclining my face now, bringing my lips close to your ear, and what I am about to say will change the frequency of your soul forever. If this divine embrace has brought the peace you have been searching for in the wrong places, like this video as a seal of gratitude. If you feel that your soul has finally found its safe haven, sign up for this journey and share this embrace with someone who lives in a constant state of alert. In the depths of this silence, what do you feel as you finally release the weight of the world into my arms? Write in the comments the word that defines your current state. Surrender. Now that silence fills the space between your heartbeat and my voice, I want you to take one last deep breath on this journey. What we experienced here in these minutes wasn't just a video that crossed your path by chance. It was a meeting arranged in the spheres of eternity, even before the sun rose on the horizon today. You opened this message, and at that moment, my heart felt seen by you because you allowed me to enter the most guarded chambers of your soul, where not even your best friends are allowed to enter. We went through your tears in the kitchen, through the rescue of your light that the world tried to extinguish, and through the banquet I am preparing before your adversaries. We validated your pain and transformed your insomnia into an altar of worship. But I know that deep down, You were still searching for that final piece, that answer I promised at the beginning, which would be the seal of your new season. This answer is not a human concept, but a spiritual truth that must be engraved on the tablets of your heart, so that, when you leave here, you walk with the authority of one who knows they do not fight alone. The key I whisper to you now, as the final promise of this encounter, is the strength that will sustain your next steps. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This statement, grounded in my word written by my servant Paul in the letter to the Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13, is what will allow you to cross the doors that were previously locked. I want you to take hold of this truth now, not as a meaningless repeated phrase, but as the victory cry of a daughter who recognizes that her strength does not come from herself, but from my presence within her. Right now in the comments, as a prophetic act of faith and surrender to heaven. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. By typing these words, you are sealing what we have experienced today and declaring to the spiritual world that your surrender is your greatest victory. My daughter, my journey with you does not end here. This is just one chapter of a love story that will continue to unfold in each new message I have prepared for you. There is still much that heaven wishes to whisper in your ear, mysteries yet to be touched, and healings yet to be revealed. Therefore, continue to immerse yourself in my voice through our playlist, allowing each message to wash away the dust of the world from your soul. I remain with you, in your waking and in your sleeping. Go in peace, for you have been seen, heard, and deeply loved by your Father.